Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Making an Impact with Zebu Nation. And today we have for you the preseason spectacular for the 2021 season in Major League Soccer for the Montreal Impact. This is our fourth season now with the Impact, fourth full season, and could be difficult. It's a contract year for us, so let's take a look at Zebu Nation, head coach, 27 years old now, $888,000 contract until the end of the season, so it's not a huge contract. We could definitely get fired easily by the board, and we're going to have to work on that. We're going to have to get our contract renewed and see what happens. Got a 2.5-star reputation as a coach. That's pretty good. We've gotten a little bit of a boost recently playing in Champions League, playing in the World Club Championship, so that's been good for the old reputation. Still an attacking coach, still a technical coach, still a youth-oriented coach, good motivator, so that's good. Something new is that we now have a fairly sizable knowledge in Portugal, 80%. I don't know where our Canadian knowledge went. We had some Canadian knowledge here, but it's left us. So I decided to send a couple of scouts out to re-scout Canada and make sure that we understand what's going on in our own home soil. In terms of, the rest of the stuff is pretty much the same. Still, a lot of stuff going on here. Games won 78. It's pretty good. 42% win percentage. I think we were 41% last time. I don't remember what we were last time, but pretty good. We won a lot of games last season, so that's wonderful. No new trophies, unfortunately. Some interesting stuff happened with our favorite and least favorite coaches. Miguel Herrera is on the list. He is now the head coach of Pachuca, and I guess he's on the list because he enjoys beating us in international competitions, because that's what he did in the World Club Championship, so good for him. Bob Bradley got a new job. How about this? FC Dallas. See if he can take FC Dallas back to their winning roots after they've had a couple of off seasons. See what's going on there. Some of our worst opinions here. Carl Robinson is out of there for New York Red Bulls. See you later. Brad Friedel is back in with the New York Red Bulls. He got fired from the Revolution, so we're going to have a new and renewed rivalry with Brad over there at the Red Bulls. Seems like whoever the Red Bull coach is, we don't like him. Greg Berhalter is in as a Houston Dynamo coach after his stint at NYC. So a lot of these coaches in MLS just keep getting recycled and recycled. So we'll see how many of these guys keep popping up. It's hard to keep track of them, honestly. That's why sometimes I don't always keep track of who the other coaches are in MLS, because they just seem to pop up. They get fired, they get hired. It really doesn't matter where they're at. They just seem to come back and come back. Patrick Vieira, meanwhile, he's moved on with his career. He's gone up in the world to Leicester City. He was at NYC, then he went back over to France, and now he is coaching in England. So good luck to Patrick. And even though we don't like each other for whatever reason. And then finally, we got, Ronald Koeman, 57 years old. He's gone, I don't know why this guy doesn't like me. Everton coach, West Brom, and now Napoli. What have I ever done to this guy? I got no idea. Maybe I stole one of his players or something, but whatever the reason, he doesn't like me, so we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe we'll schedule Napoli this season or something. Who knows? You might notice that we are no longer the head coach of Portugal. So this is like their fourth coach in the last 4 years, I think. Portugal is just struggling out there. They didn't even let us get to the World Cup qualifying. They let us go early. I don't know. I mean, we didn't do so good in the Europe Cup or whatever that was, the European competition. So they weren't going to wait. They weren't going to have any patience whatsoever. It's like, get out of here. But you know what? I'm actually kind of okay with that, because Portugal, they just didn't fit my style. They had too many, all of their eggs were in their midfield basket. And that's not really how I play. I play with, strikers and defenders. That's how I like to play. And the midfield for me is sort of interchangeable. But that's exact opposite of Portugal, so I don't think it was a good move. I probably should have stayed with Algeria. I think that was a an easier route to the World Cup. But anyway, we're going to ignore all that for now. Maybe we'll get another chance coming up. We've only got a year left for World Cup qualifying, so better get to it if we're going to find another job and try to make some World Cup noise. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're here for the preseason spectacular. So let's take a look at how we've done. And, well, no, let's go down the checklist first. How about that? We'll start with the checklist. In the academy, we had a youth intake. We got a nice new young goalkeeper, Stefano Giasante, 16 years old. Nice reflexes, nice handling. This kid's got a lot of potential. Only 16 years old, like I said, so it's going to be a few years before we need to call him up. But hopefully, fingers crossed, he could be one of our next goalkeepers in the next, 10 years. Anyway, Xavier Aubrey has been there before. Other than that, our youth intake wasn't real great. You look at these 16-year-olds we have, and there's only 5 of them. So it wasn't a real great intake in terms of youngsters. So again, we got a really old academy. I'm not happy about that. And there's not a lot of guys who are going to have to worry about calling up. Maybe a handful of guys, maybe a couple of these defenders, Aubrey or Holdridge, but I wouldn't hold my breath on these guys. So academy is slacking. Finances, not so slacking. We're up to $13 million. So this is very good. We've had a bit of a loss this month because of all the transfers. We'll get to the transfers in a minute. But overall, the club financially is pretty solid for now. Well, we got some issues here. First of all, as you can see, the transfer budget is $3,000. We've spent almost every last dime of our transfer budget. So we're going to have to think about that. Our payroll has shrunk from, I think it was 25 million when we first started, then it shrunk to 21, and now it's down to 15 million, and we're actually using 8 of that. So our actual payroll has gone up this season, which I didn't count on, and I'm not exactly sure how it happened, but it has happened. So we're going to have to figure that out a little bit, and we're going to have to use a bunch of allocation money coming up pretty soon. Luckily, we've got quite a bit of allocation money. We've got, whoa, I take it back. We have 0 allocation money. So we've already used, I didn't realize we had so few. We used $875,000 this season. We do have $1 million in targeted allocation money. So we're going to have to use that and use all of it to try and sneak ourselves under the cap and figure out this cap situation. This is the first time in a long time I've had cap trouble. So we're definitely going to have to figure that out before registration day. Board has been acting a little funny. We are secure with the board, 58%. But every time I talk to them, they're like, you're not doing good enough. You're not doing good enough. And the season hasn't even started yet, so I'm a little worried. Now, we have got them to do a couple of things, to look for an affiliate club. So that was good. We got them to increase the youth again, because you saw our academy. Our academy is looking bad. So we got them to increase the youth coaching and the recruitment. But overall, like every time I asked for that, they fought me on it and said, we're not going to listen to you. So I had to go into my bag of tricks and convince them. And it took a lot of convincing to get them to do that. So I'm not sure we're on great grounds with the board at the moment, even though our job is secure. So what does the board want from us this season? Let's take a look. Canadian Championship. They want us to reach the final. That's nothing new. MLS. They want us to win the MLS this season. Nothing less will do. And then finally, minimum expectation is to win the Supporters' Shield. So I got a feeling the board is getting fed up. And we're going to have to get a new contract with them pretty soon, or we're might end up losing our job. We're going to have to worry about that. Club World Championship. Apparently we're still in that somehow. Minimum expectation is to be competitive. Board is pleased that the team attempted to be competitive. Okay. So we met expectations there already, I guess. All right, let's move on. Club-wise, what's going on? 3-star, as I mentioned in the postseason review, we are right now the #1 team in the USA in terms of reputation. Look at that, major clubs. Montreal, #1. Let's view all the clubs. You know, everybody in MLS is a 3 stars, but of the 3 stars, we are the 3-stariest, I guess. It doesn't give you a number, I don't think. Just good reputation. Previous reputation with 3 stars. So some incremental number somewhere we've gone up, and that's put us at the top of the league. I tried for 20 seasons with FC Dallas. And after 20 seasons of constantly getting in the Champions League and constantly winning MLS, I finally gained a half star. Finally got up to 3.5 stars. But it took me 20 years to do it. So we'll see how long it takes Montreal to do that kind of thing. No, not Team USA news. We don't care about Team USA news. Let's take a look at general. Not on the list. Junior Ramos, Romero, Jackson Amell, Kyle Larin. Jackson Amell is gone. We'll look at that in a minute. But all these other guys are still here on the list. News-wise, we've been sending a lot of guys out on loan. I guess most of this is transfer news, so we'll get to the transfer stuff. Yeah, this is all transfer news. Facilities, we now have great training facilities, still basic data analysis, good youth facilities, exceptional junior coaching, extensive youth recruitment. So hopefully this helps us out and gets us some better recruiting. Transfers, we still have one payment available from Jeshem Vargas, $1.2 million. Maybe we should sell that and cash in on it. We can get $916,000. I mean, that's pretty close to $1.2 million. That's just a couple of $100,000 away. 43 league appearances. Where's he at right now? I mean, you got to think he's got to have 43 pretty soon. No. Hamburg, what are you doing? You're letting my boy just sit there and wallow in the Bundesliga. 5 games last season, only 2 games this season. How far into the season are you boys? Let's take a look. Not far. All right. So, looks like they've played 4 games, but those are all Europa League games. So they haven't even started the Bundesliga games. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, he's going to have to play a lot of games this year for us to make that up. Is it worth that? I don't think it's worth that. I think, for a couple of $100,000, I think it's fine to just sell that. Let's do it. Get $900,000, get a little bit more money in the bank. Maybe actually get some more transfer budget just in case we need it. I don't think we'll need it, but you never know. We are a little short on international player slots. We sold these last year, and so they're still out there. We got to probably go reacquire a couple of international slots because of all the transfers that we did. So, let's look at said transfers. This is the big money. Big money, no whammies. First of all, let's see who we released. We released Nick Dupuis, Samuel Piet, which was a big one. He's still out there. I mean, we could still go get Samuel Piet. I don't know why nobody's picked him up. He's still a really good player, only 26 years old. It's bad news that he's not been picked up for the Canadian national team. Giglio, dropped him. He didn't get picked up either. Oh, no, he is. He's contracted to Empoli, so he did go back over to Italy. And then Pujol, he's available on a free. So, did Dupuis get picked up? Yeah, he got picked up by Tampa Bay Rowdies, so good for them. I mean, he was still a solid contributor. He can score a lot of goals, I think, at the lower levels. So good for him. Okay, let's get to our let's get to our trades. How about that? So we did make some interesting trades. We traded away some young players for some draft picks. Traded away Gonzalo Jesus, one of our young strikers, to Atlanta United for a first and a fourth round pick. We had so many young strikers. Had to get rid of somebody. Jesus is, one of those guys, so we got rid of him. That's a pretty good amount of money, or value anyway, for one of our academy players. Then we traded away Lewis Taylor, our starting left back. Probably a bad idea. Valued at $800,000, but I looked at him and I said, you know what? He is limited. He is just a defensive fullback. Now, he gives us a little bit of versatility because he can play central defense. But other than that, he gives us almost no offensive ability from the fullback position. So I figured if Chicago was going to come at us with $1 million, which is what they did, $500,000 in general allocation money, $500,000 in targeted allocation money, I figure we're never going to get a better deal than $1 million for Taylor. So went with it, did it. And then we made an interesting move. We traded Vancouver, a second-round draft pick, for the rights to Brendan Desovich. Just the rights, because he was signed elsewhere. And that takes us to our transfers. So, first of all, we had a couple of draft picks. But not just super draft picks. We actually picked up some people from the waiver draft. So we picked up Brian Haynes from Toronto FC, 19-year-old central defender. The kid had a lot of potential. I don't know why Toronto let him go. He got 15 jumping reach, 13 strength, 12 tackling, 14 marking, 11 heading. So this kid is pretty good. Only 9 pace, only 10 agility. So he's got some holes in his game, but for a 19-year-old, he's pretty good. And we've brought him in for free, sent him out on loan. He's already valued at $500,000, so that's good. Jesus Ferreira, similar dude, 20-year-old Colombian, valued at $1 million. We got him for free. Basically, it's he's like a super draft pick. I mean, this kid is pretty good. 12 pace, acceleration. He's really sort of average. He's sort of a Jeshin Vargas light, perhaps. He's got 12 crossing though, 13 finishing for a winger. He's a guy who can play striker or winger. And again, we're loaning him out as well. And then we picked up a reserve goalkeeper. We let all of our goalkeepers go. So we picked up Alex Horvath. We know this guy. We've played with this guy before. He's just a good reserve type dude, so that's fine. We picked up James Garner on a free 19-year-old central defender from Manchester United. Originally. They let him go, picked up by AFC Wimbledon on loan, and then dropped just for free. He was just sitting out there. So we picked him up, and he's a pretty good guy. He can play anywhere down the midfield, most likely central defense. 15 passing for a central defender is crazy. We can teach him to be a ball-playing defender. 13 tackling, only 10 marking, so we'll work on that. But again, he's only 19 years old. Only 9 pace, but we are loaning him out to Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Good luck. We had a few draft picks. Well, no, we had a few academy players. Some of our midfielders turned 18, so we picked them up. Marcus Daniels. We're going to loan him out, hopefully. Benzaza, 17-year-old. We're going to keep him at the club for training purposes, and he's already getting better. He's already improving, especially physically, so that's good. That was his weak point. Miguel Valenzuela, another 17-year-old, another guy who's improving physically. We're going to keep him at the club as well, for training purposes. Then we had our super draft. Only 2 picks this year in the super draft. A first and second round pick. I don't remember which of these guys was which because they're both nearly identical. So we picked up Alan Vallow, valued at $975,000 in the first round. We had the 20th pick overall in both rounds. So it's not like we had a ton of great choices. But this guy's okay. From San Francisco City. 2-star, 3.5-star potential. Pretty good. Very nice physicals. Decent mentals. Nice determination. A little bit of teamwork. His positioning could be better. Work rate is okay. Tackling, 14 tackling. So what I like to do. If a guy can do something, we'll draft him. He's got great tackling. Okay marking, okay heading, not really. But, 21 years old. We'll train him up. He can play left or right fullback, so that's good. And then we went for another fullback, Tim Delgado, 21 years old. Paid at $725,000. Very similar. 2-star, 3-star potential. So, this was our second round pick, I'm pretty sure. Whoops. Let's go back to him. And he's very similar. Physicals maybe not as good. Wait a minute. Who is this? This is Marcus Daniels. Tim Delgado is who I'm looking at. So, again, he can play left or right fullback. Again, pretty good physicals, nice fitness, nice acceleration, good pace for a backline guy. Only 5'9", so that's a little bit trouble. But as a fullback, it's not that much of a big deal. Okay mentals, technicals, not so good, only 7 marking. So we're sending him out on loan, see if he can get a little better. You might notice a pattern here of fullbacks. We're looking for fullbacks after we traded away our starting fullback and let loose a lot of other young fullbacks who just weren't getting any better or weren't going to get any better. So we've been looking to replenish the ranks at fullback position. Speaking of that, we went out, and there's our man, Dasovic, the guy that we got the rights to, 19-year-old Canadian, left fullback. Again, this is the position we needed. Nice physicals, okay mentals, good teamwork anyway. Okay positioning, aggression is very good. Decent tackling, marking. Heading is not so good. But this guy's pretty decent. 2-star, 3.5-star potential. He's natural left footer. We're going to give him a shot. We're going to start him and see how it goes. And if we don't get anything out of him, if he doesn't progress pretty immediately, then we can go out and find a veteran and replace him with a veteran. But for now, he's going to be our starter. Then we also picked up another couple of young international guys who I don't know what we're going to do with yet, but they were out there, they were available, and I just couldn't help myself. I had to pick them up. Carlos Alberto from Grêmio for $1 million. He's a Brazilian left winger, 19 years old. 3.5 stars already, 4-star potential. Pretty good speed anyway. Maybe not the greatest physicals in the world, but decent speed. Very good mentals, nice work rate, teamwork, determination. Decisions and leadership are okay as well. But technically is where he really shines. 17 technique, 13 passing, heading, 14 first touch. Only 9 dribbling we could use to improve there, but 13 crossing. So I don't know what to do with this kid. He's valued at $2.3 million. Keep him, loan him out, sell him. I don't really know. But he was just there. He was available. Going to train him up as an attacking left winger, improve his dribbling. We just got these guys. The transfer window just opened. The international transfer window just opened. And then finally, Chukwudi Agor from Enyimba in Nigeria. Another young guy who's just available, $500,000, 22 years old. So he's a little bit older, but look at this guy. For a defensive midfielder, great pace and acceleration, agility. Pretty good mental abilities, nice decision-making, vision, work rate. But again, look at his technique, his tackling, passing, all outstanding for MLS level. Long shots, okay. First touch, okay. This guy's a deep-lying playmaker, so he can give us that interesting playmaking ability from the midfield that we don't really have, honestly. We don't have a pure playmaker in the midfield. I decided to go out and get this guy, and I'm not sure what to do with him. Do we go with 3 in the midfield? Do we replace one of our current guys? I don't think we'll do that, but it's an option. Will we wait and see if there's injuries? Will we send him out on loan? I don't know. We got lots of options for him, but he's here, and he's a good player, so we're just sort of stacking up on good players. I forgot to go over all the guys we let go. We let go a ton of players. Nasco, free transfer, still out there. Meunier, free transfer, he's out there. Jason Lutweiler got picked up by Toronto, so we're probably going to see him. 31 years old, worth $625,000, still has those 16 reflexes, 16 jumping reach. He's still a really good player, so we're going to see him. He could improve Toronto quite a bit. Pantami we sent out on loan. Jackson Amell gone. Boxall gone. Sent out several players out on loan. Again, we're becoming a loan institution here, sending so many players out on loan. But that's the price you pay when you become sort of a youngster-oriented club. All right. Now we'll look at the competitions here. As I mentioned, Major League Soccer MLS Supporters Shield. We got high bar to reach this year, gentlemen. So we'll see if we can reach that. Schedule-wise, we've done pretty good in the preseason so far. Undefeated. We went on a little South American tour. Played in Honduras. Beat Olympia 2-0. Looked pretty good here. Laren and Gomez, one of our super draft picks from a couple of seasons ago, he had a goal. It's a pretty nice game. I guess we can take a look at the highlights real quick just to give us something to look at here rather than just the blank screens of Football Manager. One of these years I'm going to get a new skin for Football Manager, but I don't know when. So here we are just banging it downfield. Mendez going for it. Scoops it ahead to Kyle Laren, gets the header. So hopefully we're going to get a lot more of that team, Mendez to Laren, this year. We're going to be starting Mendez at the striker, or at the target man. There's Gomez just winning a header, going up over everybody on the corner. So yeah, we need some play from Mendez this season. He had a great 9 games for us last year. But we're going to need more than 9 games. Had a 1-0 victory at Milan with our reserve players. Mane is back and healthy. Had a great game. 3 key passes, a goal, 8.3 rating. He really was sort of unstoppable in that game. Speaking of unstoppable, we beat Real Juventud from Honduras. Beat them pretty good, 4-1. Chevalier got a red card early in this match, 7 minutes in, and we still beat him 4-1. D'Alessandro, 9.0 rating, goal and an assist. Junior Ramos, goal. Kyle Laren, goal, and they had one own goal. They only scored on us very late in the 2 minutes of stoppage time. So even though we were down to 10 men, we dominated these guys pretty good. Then we played Guadalupe. Our reserves got a 2-1 score. Goal from Raheem Edwards. Goal from our young target man, Johnson. 20 years old now. He's an academy player. His ability is going down for some reason. I'm not sure what. But he's not enjoying his training at the moment. But we'll take a look at the goals. I believe this team, they went up on us early, if I recall. I forgot to look at the stat line there. But I think they scored early and we had to yell at the boys. Yeah, here we go. They had a nice crowd there. Sort of heads it down on the set piece, and Perez scores easily. Here we are coming back. It took us till the 60th minute to come back. Here's Andre in the game. Mane. There's Johnson. Johnson out to Raheem Edwards. Raheem Edwards slips it past 3 defenders and the goalkeeper to score our first goal, the equalizer. And then just 2 minutes later, Mane out wide again to Raheem Edwards by his man easily. He sends the cross. Johnson is there, sneaks in front of the defense, and bangs it home. So there we go. We got a lot of young guys who are going to be seeing playing time this year. And then we finished up with a 2-1 victory over Philadelphia. Philadelphia, I mean, I don't know what to say about these guys. We just have their number. We beat them all the time. They played very poorly against us. Andre got a goal. Petrasso played extremely well. 8.9 rating and a goal. Look at the goals here. So for our roster this year, we're going to have a strong starting unit, and then we're going to have a bunch of young guys backing them up. And I think there's Andre's first goal off the header, set piece. Ramos to Andre, that's what we need. Kyle Laren dropping it back to Duverne, bangs it across the field. They can't clear it. Ramos to Petrasso, just parked in front of goal. He got onside somehow. I don't know how, but he got onside and finished it. And then here they are getting one back in the 77th minute. Bosic with an awful play. Bosic had been our starting left back, but he made plays like this, so we replaced him for sure. But the roster is going to be thin this year in terms of depth because this is going to sound backwards, but because we have so much pressure on us in terms of the competitions. Got to win the Supporter Shield. Got to win the MLS. That means we're going to be playing our starters more this season. So I think the guys behind them are going to get less playing time. So we're going to go with just a few experienced subs, and the rest of the guys are just going to be youngsters in training. May sound backwards when you say, oh, you got a lot of pressure on you to win the league. That means you got to assemble the best roster possible, right? Well, I think not, because of the team dynamics, the way those work. If you have a bunch of, good players on the bench, they're going to want to play, and they're going to cause disharmony in the locker room. So basically, we're going to play our starters, and anybody who speaks up and causes disunity in the locker room is out of here, because we don't have wiggle room for that. So there we go. We just got our buyout. Received $916,000. So, 1.23 million. We missed out on, 300,000. That's not so bad. That's fine. That's pocket change. So let's get to today's matchup. This is our last real challenging friendly, and of course it is versus Toronto FC. I don't know what it is, but our assistant coaches love to schedule Toronto FC for a friendly in the preseason. Not sure what it is, but they do it every year. Maybe it's because it gets good home attendance, and that gets us a little money, maybe? I don't know. Our attendance this season has not been good. We played all away games except for Philadelphia, and that was only 4,800 fans showed up. So all season long, we haven't had much in terms of way of attendance. But we'll see what happens with this Toronto game. So let's get to the matchups. We're going to go with our starting unit. Hand over to the assistant coach. Formation number 2. Last year we went with a lot of Burning Man formation, and we might go back to that. But we're going to start the season out in attack mode, Form 2. Everybody's healthy. Our attacking players are our best players, so might as well go with it. 9 players on international duty. Of course, international duty is the constant bugaboo of this team. And basically this year I've loaned out as many international players as I can. Anybody who's on the international team, get out of here. I'm loaning you out just because I ain't got time for that. Ferrara, we've already loaned him out. He didn't really do much. Only came in for 10 minutes. Romero is still injured from last season. He's not fit. We've got him on the disabled list already. So I don't know what he's going to do. He's just on the roster right now for sentimental reasons. And I don't think you can cut an injured player anyway. So we're going to keep him on the roster for as long as can. We got him on a coaching course right now. And, yeah. So there we go. Formation number 2. We got 12 guys on the bench, so we're not going to go over everybody. But it's, it's probably who you'd expect. There's Igor. He's on the bench now. He's going to see some time in this game, most likely. There's Valo, one of our draft picks. There's Bosic on the left wing. Lopez didn't win Rookie of the Year last year, but he came close. Mane, Edwards. So we still have a strong bench. It's just not quite as deep. There's like one guy at every position, basically. Central defense, maybe we're a little too deep, but I don't know if you can be too deep at central defense. So here we go. We got Thiago in goal. Dasovic, our new man, on the left, with Bruno, Chevalier, and Duverne on defense. Andre and Ramos again in the midfield. Petrasso, D'Alessandro, Mendez, and Laren. We're expecting a lot of goals from these 4. A lot of offense from these 4 guys. That's 4 pretty strong attackers right there. So we'll see how it works out. Meanwhile, Toronto has Zendejas in goal. Interesting. I expected them to have Lutweiler, but, you know, whatever. Boyaka is back. He's at left book. Callens, Martinez, Lenhart. That's a new character. Parker, Ortega, Najam, Gage, Hughes, and Altidore up front. No Giovanni. Oh, there he is. There's Giovinco. All right, there's Lutweiler on the bench. Anybody else? Juan Roa on the bench. Zapata, Messias. So a lot of familiar names on the bench. Pep talk. This is your chance to impress me, I guess. Whatever. Opposition. Let's go. Apply a team advice. Let's go. Okay. Let's see what Toronto has for us this season. Pretty good crowd. Definitely more than 4,800 in attendance. So I would say probably 16,000 maybe. Say 20,000 seat stadium. So probably close to 16, maybe 18,000. Here's Mendez already. His cross is deflected. That would have been a goal, I think. Oh, there's a steal by Petrasso to Kyle Aaron. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. The front four scoring in 25 seconds versus Toronto. That's what we're all about. The full court press is on. Mendez loses it, but Lenhart can't make a quick decision, and Petrasso pounces, gets it to Kyle Aaron. And there it is, boys. So hopefully we're going to see a lot of that this season. If everybody up front stays healthy, I think we're going to have close to the highest scoring, if not the highest scoring team in the league. That's what I want. I want to score the most goals in the league. Now we got to not give up the most goals in the league. D'Alessandro wins the header, gets it to Junior Ramos. That's promising. Sends it forward to Mendez. He's all by himself, but he's got Ramos streaking down the middle. He drops it back to Andre instead. Andre looking to make a play. Out wide to Mendez. Mendez, late pass forward to Petrasso. Chips it backside to D'Alessandro, who scores. I mean, it's working, right? It's working. D'Alessandro proved last season to be an outstanding MLS player. I mean, he's more than just a speed merchant. He played very well for us. There's Mendez getting used to his target man role, being a playmaker. There's just sort of bad goalkeeping in a way, but he scored. We'll take 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. Chevalier now, 6 minutes down, closing in on 7 minutes. Let's see if we can get another goal. Ramos gets it forward. Bad pass. Mendez can't retrieve it. Oh, there's a good steal by Ramos. Kyle Aaron looking. He gets stolen. Looks like Toronto has backed their defense up. There's a little shell-shocked. Andre bangs it forward. Ortega's just trying to get it out of there. Back to Andre. Tries the left side now with Petrasso. Kyle Aaron. He flicks one just wide. That was a cavalier attempt right there. Just sort of taps it to his toe and gives it a flick. 5 shots on target already. Or 5 shots, 4 on target already. That's the kind of production I want to see. Okay, here's Toronto with their first attack of the game. Andre blasts Altidore. Kyle Aaron behind the defense, one-on-one with the keeper. Zendejas with the stop. He shot it straight into his chest. I wish Kyle Aaron was a little better one-on-ones. Petrasso now. Corner, sends it in. Bruno gets a head on it, just wide. Good play, though. 7 shots, 5 on target. 58% possession, so Toronto is just they're playing back right now. They don't know what to do. If they get one back, though, they can get some confidence. There's Petrasso with a nice steal. Mendez. We need a lot out of Petrasso this year. He missed a lot of time last season with injuries. Ramos, he sends it near side. D'Alessandro, wide open. No one anywhere near him. Crosses it back for Petrasso. Got there a little late. He sends it in. D'Alessandro on the backside. We had 2 guys in front of net. D'Alessandro gets the goal. 3-0. This is what I'm hoping for. Attack, attack, attack. Just bursting downfield. They can't catch up. We're hardly catching up with ourselves here. Kyle Larin gets tripped, but D'Alessandro is there. He's got great awareness. You know, for a guy that you thought was just a track man, a speedster, he keeps his head on a swivel. There's Petrasso sending it in. Kyle Larin has it now. He's just going to shoot it wide. I kind of wish Kyle Larin was a little bit more of a heady player, but I don't know that their attributes really bear that out. Hey, maybe they do. His vision, not so good. Positioning, not so good. Decision-making, concentration, all not very good for Kyle Larin. Duverne to D'Alessandro. Larin to Mendez. Like I said, he's not the pure target man that we're used to having. You know, he's not a huge guy like Dupuis or Jackson Amell, but he's got more skills than either of those guys. So hopefully he can give us a little bit more of a skillful target man out there. And if something happens to Kyle Larin, he can come in for Kyle Larin as well. So he's very much a dual threat. Petrasso gets it stolen, but he continues the pressure. Petrasso, come on, buddy. Don't go crazy. You are a left winger. Looks like Toronto's going to try to ease the ball downfield. Nope, they bang it forward for Altidore. He beats Chevalier, chips the keeper off the crossbar. It was a good one-man effort to try and beat the whole defense. But yeah, let's look at D'Alessandro. What has he got going for him? Off the ball. I mean, he doesn't have great mentals either. He's just slightly better than Kyle Larin. It's starting to snow now. That's always fun. See what Petrasso can do out wide. He's got two men closing. Beats them both. Gets it to Bruno, who's still in the box. Gets it back out wide to Petrasso. Crosses it. D'Alessandro has it. He gets wide. He crosses it back. Ramos reset the offense to Desovic. Petrasso sends it in again. Kyle Larin with the header and another goal. Can't keep giving us opportunities like this. It's going to end in more goals. Just going to end in more goals. I mean, we're not going to have too much sympathy for Toronto. But yeah, Petrasso, Kyle Larin, header. I mean, maybe we should flip-flop the two. Maybe we should make Kyle Larin the target man. If at any point we stagnate on offense, we might do that. Those two guys are pretty much interchangeable. And speaking of Mendez and Larin. Mendez currently sitting in a 6.8. That's not good. Here's Petrasso sending it in. Bruno with the header. Bruno with the goal. 5-0. This is good. This is good. Of course, this means we're going to lose like our first 5 MLS games in a row or something stupid. But hopefully not. Hopefully we can keep this train rolling. All we have left is one preseason game against a minor league team, and then we start up with MLS. So hopefully we can keep this rolling. We played a pretty, not necessarily a difficult off-season, but we played a pretty rigorous off-season. We played a lot of games just to get ready for the season so we can hit the ground running. Andre to Ramos. We started 5 weeks in the preseason instead of 4. Gets it forward. Boyaka on the defense. Can we score one more before half? Make it 6 goals in the first half. We're going to start heavily substituting. Here's Kyle Larin around one man. Zendejas makes a stop. Seems like the only guy he can stop is Kyle Larin. Although Larin has 2 goals already. Look at that. 9.1, 9.2, 9.1, and 7.1 for our forwards. That's what we want. I mean, everybody's doing spectacular, so. Outstanding, outstanding. All right. Tactics here. Let's make a couple of subs. Let's bring in our new boy, Agor. What can he play? He's the deep-lying playmaker, of course. We'll put him on defend. That'll be interesting. I mean, he's got such huge tackling and passing. It will be interesting to see what he does. Maybe we'll stick him in there. We'll keep him with the first team and see what sort of observations he can make. Is there any reason to take anybody else out? I don't think so. That's not a bad idea. We'll put him in there. See what he can do. See if he can make some plays. See how he fares with the first team. I like that idea. All right, let's go. Team talk. Not happy with that performance. Very pleased. Just keep it going. Who cares? There's no way you can get complacent and lose a 5-0 lead. I don't think that's possible. I mean, obviously it's possible, but highly unlikely. They got Juan Roa in there now at right wing. Giovinco in at left wing. So they're going to take this second half a little bit more seriously. Bruno gets it forward. Petrasso sends one. Mavinga heads it out of there. Gage. So again, they got a lot of starters now coming off the bench. So maybe they're going to try to score 5 goals in the second half. I don't know. Ortega's going to move the ball upfield. There's our new deep lying playmaker, number 44 in the middle. Trying to squeeze Ortega, and he almost does. He's got to come back and get Gage. He's got the speed to give us a little bit of movement to Sovic. Nice tackle, young man. And here comes Igor. He's got speed, he's got work rate, he's got tackling. I mean, I don't know what more you could ask for. Giovinco sends one in. Petrasso finally gets it out of there to Kyle Larin to start the counterattack. 49 minutes, Kyle Larin just eating up field. He gets past one man. Mendez drops it back. Jumps over a man. Junior Ramos going to settle it down to Igor. Let's see what the playmaker can do. See what he can do. Gets it out wide to Petrasso. Mendez. Back heel to Petrasso. Crosses to Kyle Larin. Oh, come on, Kyle. Come on, Kyle. What you doing, man? All right. So Gore's looking complacent for some reason. 6.7 rating. Let's see. Let's get Kyle Larin out of there. Our only guy coming off the bench is Matt Johnson. So we're going to move Mendez up to advance forward. Bring Johnson in. We're a little thin at striker this year. We got a lot of young strikers, most of them out on loan, so we don't have a ton of guys. They're either out on loan or they're with the national team, or both currently. So Matt Johnson's going to be our reserve target man. Again, I don't know what his deal is, but he is not looking good. He's dropping and dropping every single week that I look at him. I don't know if he's overtraining or what. We got to figure something out with Johnson. Anybody else that we need out of there real quick? I think we can take D'Alessandro out. We don't want him getting injured. Yeah, let's start making some subs here. We don't want... Petrasso's got a bit of an injury history, so we'll get him out of there. Junior Ramos... He's proved all he needs to prove. Bring in Lopez. Bruno. Who do we got on the bench? I guess Cabrera. Duvern for Van Allo. Alright, so we've made a huge amount of subs. You're probably not supposed to sub out your whole team at once, but, you know, that's what I like to do. You're going to make the changes. Might as well make the changes while you're thinking about it. Because otherwise the clock's just going to run and I'm going to forget to sub some of these guys out. So there we go. 62 minutes. Give the reserves a little bit of playing time. I mean they're going to have to play again in like 3 days, so maybe I shouldn't have done this so early, but you know, this year is all about the regular season. It's all about the starters, keeping them healthy. Sovic with a yellow card. All right, that's your signal to get out of there, young man. Bring in Bosic. Drop Bosic back to defensive fullback. I think we can move. I think Vallo can go forward a little bit. Yeah. He can even go into attack a little bit, but don't need that right now. As long as we have one fullback in support, I think it's okay, just to give us another outlet valve. Gage, they should probably sub him out. 57%. No need to waste him in a preseason game. You're losing 5-0. They might not have anybody on the bench left to bring him out. I mean, Zapata, what are you? Target man. Lutweiler, goalkeeper. Johnson, don't know what you are. 24-year-old Canadian. There he goes. Nope. Not yet. Hall, 21-year-old advanced forward. So he ain't coming out unless they add another forward, which they probably should. But here we go. Chevalier getting back to it. Drops it to Bosic. Update of here. Agor. Easy pass to Lopez. 79 minutes, so there's still quite a bit of time left in this game. Slow playing it around. Bosic getting forward. Bosic is 6'6", by the way, in case you're wondering why he looks so huge. It's because he is huge. Edwards gets forward. Edwards with a slow rolling shot. Lutweiler's in the game. Nice stop by Lutweiler. He's gonna... We might have just won Lutweiler his job back because he didn't get 5 goals scored on him. There's Cabrera. Almost gets the header. 21 shots, 12 on target. That's what I'm talking about. In the playoffs last year, we were getting 20-plus shots, but only getting, 6 or 8 on target. If we can get at least half our shots on target this season, I would be very, very happy with that. Oh, a deflection. Double deflection. Williams gets a cheap goal. Deflects off a defender, then off the post, then off Thiago and in. That's just blind luck, really. Zapata to Williams. Doink, 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 in. It's like a trick shot in pool. A little billiards action going on here. I was hoping to keep the shutout. I probably should have brought in a backup goalkeeper now that I'm thinking about it, but I don't usually do that. If I start a keeper, I usually have him in there for the whole game. I don't know why. Just superstitious, I guess. We got 2 goalkeepers on the bench. Here we go. 10 seconds left. Lopez gonna get it forward to Mendez. He's got a man open, but he gets triple teamed and stolen, and that's it. That's the end. All right. Looking good, boys. If we can keep up this momentum to the regular season, I would be more than thrilled. Very pleased. I'm not going to neg the boys over a 5-1 victory, which they took it easy in the second half. Can't blame them for that. Dominant win. Delgado played in his first game already. Had 3 interceptions, 3 tackles, 1 foul. Good man. Good man. So what do we got coming up? What do we got? Well, we got the Sacramento Republic, friendly, in heavy snow. Why it's snowing in Sacramento, you got me. Has it ever heavily snowed in Sacramento before? I don't know. Global warming taking effect. Anyway, after that, we got Ottawa. I forgot about Ottawa, our affiliate club. We're going to load them up with players in the next week for sure, and they'll all come back to haunt us. But then we start the regular season at Houston, or home against Houston, at LA, home against Real Salt Lake. So it's a West Coast swing, and then Toronto FC. So that's a real tough 5-game swing. If we can get through this with a very positive record with, 3 wins, 2 draws in this first 5, that's what I'd love to get. It's pretty ambitious, but I'd love to get that. If we can come out of there with that record, I think we're going to be on our way towards a supporter shield this season. If not, we're going to have to make some adjustments and worry about our future. So, until then, I guess that's it. I can't think of anything else we need to talk about. No, we'll come back for our MLS regular season preview show. That's what it is. So until then, We'll see you later. Bye-bye.